Let's start with the basics. And like I showed you, there's that. Your main strings are that, that, and that. And you want to convert after hit confirming into that, and then amplified that. And then from there, the next step is what I showed you earlier, is that. And then we've got 284. If you add a buff before that, hold on, Ford 4 2 telly amp. Yeah, that's good. Yep, that works. That one. Yeah. But that ends it. If you want to continue that and use another bar, you do this. Hold on. It starts to drop off at the end there. Yeah, that's hard to catch at the end, that one. But you can get it, and it's that 379 damage. And with a buff, my execution is terrible. Just going over something I've been playing. There you go, with a buff, that's 443, and it's pretty simple. Basically, it's what you've been doing, which is that, but instead, you add a stand 4 and a teleport, and then go into that. Okay, so this, what you already know, but instead of ending it with this after one teleport, you go into a stand 4, which is that, and then another teleport amp. So, that. So, we go to teleport amp. Teleport amp. Teleport amp. So I would start with just doing that, so you can do that consistently. And then once you've got that, just add the 4-3-2 spear at the end. And then you have it. It gets hard. There are harder ones than that, but as we're doing beginner, that's the most beginner friendly high damaging combo, I would say. And if you think you're gonna drop it, just correct it with a forward 3 into down forward 4. And you also keep them on the side, so if you're close to the corner, you want to do that one, because that will carry them further into the corner, then you can jump in and do all your shenanigans in the corner. So that would look like this. And that's 3, 5, 6, nothing to sniff about. Good damage. And with a buff, it's... Oh no, sorry, I'm doing the wrong one. This one. It's 445 damage. You're welcome, man. Thanks for supporting my stream. And for extreme beginner level stuff, I would say just that. As long as you're ending with a spear or that, you should be fine at extreme beginner level. So remember your three main strings. That one. That one. That one. Actually, it's 4. And that one. Remember, this is death on block, so be very careful with it. I always get caught out with it myself. You gotta learn to hit confirm it, but it's hard. And it is his most damaging, far-reaching combo starter, so it's very tempting to do. But this is his most damaging combo starter because it doesn't scale as much as this one. Look, I'll show you. Take note of the damage. Actually, we'll make that simpler just so you can see the damage. We'll just do this one. 304 damage with the 4-3-2 combo starter, but with it's 308. It's only a little bit more, but it all adds up, especially with the buff. $356. $353. Okay. Oh, I think that's only when you do like the full long combo that it scales better. If you're just doing a short combo, then it is best to start with that one. But again, it is death on block, so be careful. But in the longer combos, this one scales better. But again, it does drop off. And that's just when you want to go for the most damage Scorpion can put out. If you want to go for unbreakable damage, then you want to do a spear amplify instead of a teleport amplify. And that looks like this. So where you'd usually teleport here and amplify, if you want unbreakable damage, you do spear amplify, because they're not in the air, they can't break away. It's a lot less damage though, and you should really only reserve that for either when they've got breakaway or when you need to close out the round without them breaking away. They have breakaway, but you need to do a small amount of damage just to win the round. And the most you can get there is actually no. This. That goes to about 300 with the bleed damage. So you've got unbreakable combo potential with Scorpion, and you should definitely make use of it. I always forget to make use of it myself, but I'm trying to learn and do it. So that's unbreakable with that starter. But obviously you can only do that once because it's a crush and blow. So when the crush and blow's gone, you change that to forward 3, 2 into down forward 4. Or if you want to switch sides of them, you change it to spear. And that's only 271. So he doesn't get too much damage unbreakable, but he gets some damage unbreakable, and you can find yourself in situations where you have your opponent with that much health left and you can unbreakably kill them. You should definitely take it. And to add on to that, if you want to unbreakably do more damage, you want to do what I just showed you, but don't end it. Go into forward 3, 2, fatal blow, and then you can get unbreakable 346 damage, which can be more if you add a buff to it, and that looks like this. That's 368 unbreakable damage. And yeah, what you could do is what I do sometimes, like with higher level players than me, put the video on one screen and then have the practice session on another screen, and then watch what they do, i.e. watch back this stream that I'm doing now, and then you'll be able to see what I'm doing and do it in steps, like I was saying before. Like, this is the first step. Learn how to do that. That's very simple. You get that very quick. But instead, then go on to the next step, which is the amplifier. And then that's another step done, and then you don't have to worry about that anymore. You just go on to the next step. As soon as you see that elbow coming, you know you're on your next step. So you go, okay, next step, forward 3, spear. Yep, but you don't let it rip. You amplify it again. And then when you see that next elbow, you know you're on your next step of the combo. So now we're here. And then another forward 3 into what you want to do with them, which is, if you want to switch sides of them, you change it to spear. If you want them to stay on the same side, you go into death spin, which is that. And if you want to do more damage and you have fatal blow available, then you go into fatal blow. So the next step, we're on the next step now. We want a fatal blow, go into that. Next step. Whoops. Want more damage on that. So 4, 3. Next step, I want to keep them same side because we're near to the corner. Jump in. You don't have to jump in, but no, that's what I would do. And this time we want to switch sides of them because we're too near to the corner. So we're going to spear. Let's switch sides. That's your unbreakable damage. Yeah. Yeah, do it in steps. That's how I learned. And then you just want to do the same thing but with different starters. So we've been starting with that. Now we can start with... Actually, the easiest one out of all of them to start with is that. Yeah, Scorpion's a cool character. I've always played as him since MK1. So yeah, this is the easiest one, but also the least damage. See how the starter changes, but the sequence afterwards does not change. That's why it will be easy to learn. Once you learn one of these combos, you've pretty much learned them all because you just do the same thing. after the starter. It's the same mid and the middle, and it's the same ending, depending on what you want to do with them. So, grab, force. And then I wanted them that side, so I put them that side. This time I want a fatal blow. And you can also start with this, which is back 1, 4. Oh, and never ever use this string, it is completely pointless. Back 1, 4, 1. Never use that string, it's completely pointless. I don't even know why it's in the game. This string. You should never see that. It's death on block, and it's just got no use. Never use that string. Okay? If they're blocking, you want to change this into this, which is back 1, 4, 3. So you want to end with 3 if you see that they've blocked your first 2 hits. But if they haven't, then you do what we were doing here and here, which is this. I want to keep them on the same side, so I do end them with death spin. This time I want to switch sides with them, so I end with spear. And this time I want to do maximum damage with my fatal blow. So I do fatal blow. When you block somebody's unsafe move, you always want to try and, if they're in range, start with that. Because it's fast, it's 11 frames, but it's also damaging. If they're far away and you can fit 13 frames in, you want to start with that and then go into this stuff. If you want to add more damage to the unbreakable combo, I mean instead of the unbreakable combo, you want to do the spear as we said. So we've got, I mean not the spear, it's the teleport, sorry. Yeah, teleport amp is for more damage. Spear amp is for unbreakable damage, so they can't break away. So if we want to go for more damage, go into that. It's a nice simple one, 304 damage. So instead of the spear, we went into amplified telly, and then that, just like I showed you earlier. But if you want to continue that, you just amplify the spear again. And then we're back to the elbow, and we know what we do after the elbow. It's that. If we want to switch sides, and it's that if we want to keep them on the same side, and that if we want to do more damage and we'll have fatal blow. So we've got, I want to keep them, I mean I want to switch sides, yep, switch sides, spear. Keep them the same side, death spin, after forward, 3, 2, and maximum damage. Whoops. And you want to, with the fatal blow, you want to time it just as the 2 is coming down on their head, like the chain overhead. Just as that comes down on their head. Bam. You want to do it there, right there. Just tap it. There. hits always, it never misses. It's impossible to miss it. But from there, if you want to get more damage, you don't go into a spear amplify after the telly, you go into another telly. So we've got another telly. See how it's a progression? Instead of the spear, you just do a telly instead. And then we're in this position. And as I said earlier, because you want to keep them up, you do another teleport after a stand 4, because it adds a bit of height. You're just playing keepy ups with them. And then you're back to what you want to do with them after the combo, which is either switch sides of them, keep them on the same side, or extra damage with a fatal blow. So that looks like this. Keep them on the same side because they were dropping a bit low. I didn't think I was going to do it. We'll try that again. Keep them on the same side. See, with that long combo, because you have to account for them dropping further and further down because you're hitting them too much, gravity starts to kick in. It's so that you can't like keep a combo going forever. They eventually drop. Instead of forward 3, 2 and then death spear, you just do forward 3 and then death spear, because they're dropping too low. You have to catch them. Forward 3, death spear. I'll show you that now. Whoops. Forward 3, death spear. See, it's the same as everything else we've learned, but we have to account for the fact that they're dropping low, so we can't get the 2 in. I'll show you what that looks like when you try and get the 2 in. See how I whiffed? Some players could punish that, so you don't want to do that. See, I'm still in an animation and they're up. If they have a fast enough button, they can punish it. That's why you don't want to do that. You just want to do 4-3 and death spear. And this is how it looks when you want to switch sides. 399, good damage. And that obviously gets higher whenever you've got the buff active. And if you want to go into a fatal blow with this, it's strict timing, pretty hard to do, but definitely possible. And that's a 1-1 jab into fatal blow after a slight dash forward. And that's 500 damage without buff. With buff, it looks like this. Whoops. Oh, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. But I got it there. And I'll show you how much damage this does. And that's 564 damage, which is the highest I've found with Scorpion. And you can see it's just a progression from the beginner combo that I showed you. It's just a progression with steps, and it ends with what you want to do with them. It's not too hard with Scorpion. And you can begin with all of those other ones that I showed you as well. So you have a choice of how you begin. So that looks like this. Hold on. To switch sides. To keep them on the same side. At the start of round 1, there's different things you can do. Like if it starts like that, jump in kick, and if that hits, then you can go into teleport. But if they block, then you can go and throw. Because jump kick on block is plus. It's +9. So it's still your turn. You can do that. Do that. You can do that. You can do that. Because that's +3, so you stay plus. Or you can do that and try and catch them, still +2, but if they don't block it, I'm just going to wait for them to go. It's not going to work, is it? I think it's auto. I can't remember what it is. Basically, you want to do that, and then if you had caught them, then you could go into your combos. Say, like, they blocked the jump kick, but then they don't block that. Then you can go to all the other things I've shown you. See? On hit, we can go into any of the combos that we want. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, if you land a jump kick and you're quick enough to hit confirm, you can go into teleport and end it with a crushing blow. Or just keep it simple, like that, and keep your bar. It's good damage, considering it's only one bar. 330. Okay, no worries, mate. You're welcome. This is the combo I'm working on getting down at the moment, which is 407 damage with one bar. It's hard to do. You've got to hit them with 2 forward threes, but that's more advanced stuff. Will do, mate. Good night.